No off days. We're rolling along here on the Man on Second YouTube channel. Welcome to the Curtain Call podcast. I've this is episode 2. I'm rolling these Curtain Call podcasts out. Gives me a chance to kind of refresh, rehash what I just saw, and review the week that we just saw, and also kind of lead into the next week of high school baseball here in South Florida and throughout the state of Florida, because I am going as many places as possible and growing the channel. Thank you, everyone, for the support that we've been getting. Remember, please, I got my shirt on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscriptions going way up. The right now we're getting close to, in terms of views, I think I passed 2.7 million views in just 13 months. So I thank everyone for the support. So please like, subscribe to the channel. And as we kind of grow this, the podcast end of it, it's kind of the new part of it where you get to meet me a little bit. I appreciate seeing the players, the coaches, the parents. Everyone's been very, very supportive of the channel. And also, if you have a good video of your players, that, because I can only be in one place. I'm sorry, I get a lot of people. Why aren't you here? Why aren't you here? I can't be everywhere, but I'm getting a nice little network of people who are supplying me with videos at places. They have to be the quality, to put on the site, because all these videos out there that I'm flooding the channel with are providing a lot of exposure for these players. I'm trying to get as many of you guys out there who play into the eyeballs on college coaches, the pros, and a lot more. But without further ado, as we kind of jump into today's episode on the Curtain Call, I'm going to kind of go back to where I was this past week. Monday, no games because of President's Day. Tuesday, I had a chance to go see Gulliver Prep come up to NSU University School here in Fort Lauderdale, right, basically on the Nova Southeastern campus, and got to see the great Jacob Lombard. Jacob, he plays shortstop. He's a junior, widely regarded as the best junior in his class. I've talked to people in my area scout buddies and people in the game. They think when he graduates in 2026, he could be a top 5 pick in the MLB draft. His brother, of course, is George Lombard Jr., a really fine prospect with the New York Yankees. Jacob, outstanding talent. Also going through with Jacob, though, keep this in mind. He's a two-sport guy. He's a very, very good soccer player. Gulliver Prep soccer team is advancing. I don't know where they are, regionals, getting close to state. So Jacob is kind of wearing two hats. He's literally, while I was at U School the other day, the Gulliver team was there, and they were, kind of warming up. And Jacob, because, he's involved with soccer, his mom, the game was at 7:00. His mom dropped him off at 6:20. At 6:20, he's getting out of the car, running into the dugout, putting on his cleats, and getting ready to play baseball. I saw him take some infield drills. Because they want to kind of save Jacob's legs a little bit, and he's working very hard. Playing two sports is very taxing on the body, so he's doing a lot of designated hitting, at least in the early part of the season for Gulliver Prep. He had 3 at bats. He walked his third time, technically a plate appearance. Don't hit me up on that, I get it. A walk isn't an at bat technically, but here I got a little video. He had 2 really hard hit balls. This is him leading off the game. Hits the ball really well down the line. Rocco Rovetto, looking like Gold Glover out there, makes a great play to rob Jacob Lombard. Actually, in his first 2 at bats, it was almost similar results. But you can see the swing with Lombard. Again, great play by Rocco Rovetto to get the out. But we'll run it back again so everyone could just see Jacob Lombard can't get too much of this kid. But you see how easy he is, just how the bat speed. I mean, also keep in mind, he's coming in cold like there. He's no pregame swings in the cage or anything. He's just coming out of his mom's car at 6:20 and swinging the bat at 7:05. A very talented player. That day, though, did go to U School. U School won that one 5-1. Also, really, really good start. Coach Dan Rivetto has the Sharks playing really well. I'm very impressed with them. A lot of really good players. I've mentioned a number of them. I see their players a lot at other games, but really want to highlight Devin Mila, Landon Combs, and Joey Giorgio. All three of those guys swinging the bat well. Mark Manuel, he's swinging the bat well. So they're a scrappy team. The Sharks are going to be formidable. Go over prep. I don't know if they have a win yet, but when they get Lombard back full time for baseball, and their catcher didn't play in that game. Their starting catcher is apparently really good. He didn't play in that game, so go over prep should get much, much better as the season goes on. Obviously, long year, but first soccer season you will see, and root for Jacob Lombard to see how he does on his way to States as well. Tuesday, I had a chance to go over to Pembroke Pines Charter. I saw Spencer Krasner pitch for Chaminade Madonna. I really like the pitching matchup in that game because I'm a big fan of Dean Jaworski, the left-hander who is a junior for Pines Charter. Spencer Krasner, University of South Carolina commit. He's a junior at Chaminade, and both lefties were really dealing through 3 innings. And then in the 4th inning, it kind of got away from Dean Jaworski. He gave up a leadoff homer to Miguel Roa, who I believe is the nephew of Miguel Cabrera. He's related to Miguel Cabrera in some capacity, but he looked like his uncle when he went Oppa the Bulges. When it came off the bat, I knew the kid was strong. I didn't realize he had enough to throw it out to right field, but opposite field homer. Dean, the inning kind of went away from Dean in the 4th inning, but through 3 innings, Dean Jaworski is really, really good. They're going to have to kind of figure out, his point of where it's best to kind of maximize Dean instead of overexposing him and getting him to have lines that make him look. His ERA goes way up when he really should have only given up like 1 run. And really talented pitcher, knows how to pitch, but Dean's got to work through there. But the story of the night was Spencer Krasner, 12 strikeouts, just 1 hit. It was like a bunt single, 6 innings pitch. I think it's the 2nd straight 12 strikeout game for Spencer. Against Newman, he went 6 innings, I believe, that game, and gave up like no hits and 12 Ks. That game went away from him like as soon as he came out of the game. I think it was 9-0. But St. John Newman is a really good team. They're ranked in the state, and like I said, very good team. But Spencer Krasner off to an amazing start for Chaminade Madonna and the Lions. So that was my Wednesday. Thursday, I head over to see Miami Christian go to American Heritage up in Plantation. It's really good to see American Heritage again. I like to see Miami Christian. I saw them play in the state championship game in the semifinals a year ago. Unfortunately, they lost in the title game on a walk-off. But Miami Christian a year ago, they had guys like Ronnie Cruz, who right now he was drafted. He's in the Cubs system. They got guys at UM, and this year's team they have more of the smaller college guys, but a talented team. But unfortunately, they didn't. It wasn't their best night, and they lost. I think it was 7-2 to American Heritage. That game, Dylan Dubovic. Dylan had a really good game. He had an RBI at the plate. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning. Control was the issue with him early on. Had a little trouble finding the strike zone, but once he kind of dialed it in, I think he was up to 92 miles an hour. Dylan Dubovic, University of Miami commit, hitter, pitcher, outfielder, 4 strikeouts in that game. Like I said, I think the gun had him up to 92 miles an hour. At the plate, Dylan's made a little bit of an adjustment. He's not taking as big of a stride. They're trying to kind of shorten the swing a bit in terms of the over-aggressiveness, but an immense amount of power for Dubovic, who had, like I said, an RBI single in that game. Joseph Castro, outfielder, real speedster. He had a big game. He had 2 hits, and American Heritage keeps rolling along. And they the day before, the Patriots, they play everyone. They played 3 games last week, so they have a busy schedule. They played rivalry with Archbishop McCarthy at home. They were losing 2-0. Then they went ahead 4-2, gave up a run in the 6th to make it 4-3. And then the 7th, Talon Holiday, their fine pitcher, North Carolina commit, started at. But in relief, Caden Garrow, he closes it out, goes 2 innings, but he gets a strikeout with the tying run at third base. So, so for Archbishop McCarthy was that close. Big out, big game for Heritage. RJ Machado of Heritage, third baseman, he's really playing well, having a really good season so far. Want to single him out as well, and also kind of note for Archbishop McCarthy, they're going a little bit through a rough patch. They're really young. Mike Fires, new coach there. Mike, of course, pitched in the big leagues. As a talented team, but they're young. Robert Kearns, baseball star. Robert was a little banged up for football. Is a little, getting him back on the field consistently for baseball hasn't. It's still kind of a work in progress. But Robert did hit a homer, I think, the next night against Somerset, and it didn't go that. They lost that game to Somerset, but Kearns hitting a homer, very encouraging. Before I move into Friday's game, I did want to kind of go back and talk about what happened also on Tuesday. I talked a little bit about Stoneman Douglas, I should say, basically. Stoneman Douglas, they're back. They lost to True North Classical Academy, and really we lost to a great pitcher in Alan Soler. And but they've rebounded. They beat North Broward Prep on the road 6-2. Gio Rojas strikes out 11 in 4 innings. Michael Osifort, who didn't play against True North, which his bat was missed that game, had 3 hits. And then the next night against Western, Osifort hits a grand slam. He had 5 RBIs. Big night for Michael, and a big night for Stoneman Douglas. Story for Western in that game, though, was Jimmy Eward, their excellent pitcher, Vanderbilt commit, a junior, but Jimmy went 1 2/3 innings. He allowed 3 earned runs, but the story was 7 walks. And Jimmy's going to have to come to grips with that. It's throwing strikes consistently is kind of an issue with Jimmy, and that's kind of known. But when he's in the zone, he's virtually unhittable. But he's got to kind of find his rhythm, and he's going to need some innings. He as you're guarding these pitchers who throw hard and have D1 scholarships, but they also have to get innings to get sharp. So we'll see how Jimmy does in moving forward. And that takes me down to Friday. Friday was Flanagan. I went to Flanagan, saw St. Thomas Aquinas play against the Falcons. And in that game, I'm going to show you a couple of highlights for all the people who think it's easy to get there and take all these videos. It can be occupational hazard, when you're behind home plate videoing. My buddy Caden Corso, he almost hits me. He knocks my phone over. And then, the next inning, Andrew Alvarez, I talked to him pregame. Andrew, my buddy, he's aiming for me. And I think to Zach Malvasio, he's trying to knock my phone over too. So, and that's my world, as you see with my new fancy camera. So just want to throw a little light moment in there of what it's like to be back there shooting videos and guys, hitting foul balls in my general direction. But let's get to the game on Friday with St. Thomas at Flanagan. Story of the night, Thomas Giltner, right-hander for the St. Thomas Raiders. Thomas was on point all game. Next thing you know, you're looking up. He had kind of an early lead, but it was 4-0. And Flanagan still within striking distance. But the one thing that Thomas Giltner did not allow through 6 innings was a hit. So he comes out for the 7th inning, and first batter is kind of the heartbreaker. Throws a pitch on the outer part of the plate. Jose Mercado of Flanagan just kind of hits a slow roller down the third base side. Andrew Alvarez tries to make the play at first. Mercado does a head first slide. I had the video there. I even slowed down, and you could see that Jose did slide in safely at first base. He breaks up the no-hitter, and And they get him. Joey Wardlow, the coach at St. Thomas, gets him out of the game to a nice applause from the parents. And Zach Malvasio, who comes in from right field to get through the three outs in the seventh inning. So Zach pitches, gets out of that. St. Thomas wins. The next night, the Raiders, Malvasio is super hot at the plate, and I got this footage courtesy of the Malvasio family. Here's Zach. He had 2 home runs against True North Classical, and you could see that, no doubter. He had a ton of power against Zach against Flanagan had 2 singles. And here's the home run again. You could just see that ball just disappear into the night. He hit that one to pretty much dead center. The other one he hit was a little bit more toward left center, but obviously Zach Malvasio is getting his timing. I talked to Zach before the game. He is talking about getting his timing down, and you can see these hitters now. Now some of these teams have 4 or 5 games under their belt, and they're going to start swinging the bat and making good contact. And but in that Saturday game where Zach he had 2 homers and a double, but credit to True North Classical because they rallied with 5 runs in the 7th inning and pulled out that game. 7-4, I think, was the final. So, but St. Thomas is off to a really good start. A lot of teams are off to really good starts as well. So that takes us to the upcoming week. Teams, some tournaments are going to start coming around. Monday, I'm going to see Flanagan's going to West Broward. I know the coaches never want to at West Broward. I apologize. I haven't been out there yet. When I was wanting to get out there, I got sick and couldn't do much. So I will be out there. I promise you. As long as it's not rained out, I will be out there to see West Broward against Flanagan on Monday. Tuesday, I'm really looking forward. True North Classical will be at American Heritage. Alan Soler, who in his last start beat Cardinal Gibbons, the start before beat Stoneman Douglas, he gets the Patriots of American Heritage. So the UCF commit, who pros are on him. I wouldn't be shocked if he's drafted. He's going to go against Talon Holiday, another guy who the pros are looking at and who may get drafted. Both may ultimately wind up in college, but certainly they're on the radar of the area scouts and potential draft picks, both of them. Like I said, in the rest of my schedule, I haven't figured it out yet for next week, but I will be kind of everywhere as well. But again, I want to thank everyone, for their support. Again, please like, subscribe, as the shirt says, and we're going to just keep rolling this out. I hope everyone keeps supporting the channel. I'm getting the video highlights up there. We're getting the short feeds out there, and getting a lot of players from a lot of schools, a lot of exposure, and that's our mission here on the Man on Second channel as we keep growing it. Again, follow my work also on High School on SI. That's High School on Sports Illustrated, formerly SB Live. I'm doing the Player of the Week polls coming out. So get on there. I'll be tweeting that stuff out. Vote on the local players. That support helps me. I'll roll out, my state top 25. That'll come out this upcoming week as well as other content. But there'll be plenty of content here on the YouTube channel, on my writing there. If you want to follow my writing there on High School on SI. With all that, I appreciate everyone for the support. Everyone, go support the high school sports, no matter where you are, no matter where in the country. If high school players are in all sports, not just baseball, these athletes are working really hard and they're very authentic, and it's in a lot of enthusiasm. I'm having a blast covering it all. I hope you guys are enjoying the coverage as well. With that, we will catch everybody in the next video.